Mainstream media is finally reporting the connection between Bill Ayers and Barack Obama, but are they telling the whole story? Joining us is Stanley Kurtz from the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, Dave.
Interesting to see this story on the cover of the New York Times, nonetheless, but you say there are some major omissions from this story.
Absolutely, Dave. The New York Times basically was parroting the Obama camp line. These guys just happened to bump into each other every once in a while. They had sporadic contact. There was nothing sporadic about their contact. Bill Ayers and Barack Obama jointly headed a foundation called the Chicago Annenberg Challenge. They worked together running this thing for 4 years. During that whole time, Barack Obama was giving money. He was funding Bill Ayers' radical education projects, and that went on for years. And there's nothing.
Now, Stanley, I mean, the reason that you are able to say this so adamantly is because you have combed through mounds of documents in the University of Illinois library from the Chicago Annenberg Challenge. What specifically is it? What evidence do you have that they worked hand in hand, that they worked together? Because the Obama campaign and other reports have said that occasionally Bill Ayers would show up at a meeting, but they really did not have this working relationship that you believe they did.
Well, I mean, there are two questions, Allison. One is how often are they in the same room together? The Obama camp says they were in the same room together at a board meeting 6 times. Well, if you're going to count when they were in the room together, it was a lot more than that, because Barack Obama would come over to what was called the Collaborative, which was headed by Bill Ayers. The two of them were on a governance committee. They also worked on a committee, a very small committee of 4 people that shaped up the bylaws that created this foundation. But the deeper issue is the fact that Obama was funneling money to fund Ayers' projects. One of the reasons that they weren't at all the board meetings after the first year is because they got worried about the ethics of what was happening. Bill Ayers was sitting on the board, and the board was funding his own projects. So Ayers stopped going to the board meetings, but Obama kept the money flowing to Ayers' projects and to the projects of Ayers' friends.
Hey, Stanley, what does it say to you that Barack Obama has written 2 autobiographies and hasn't mentioned those times, the times with the Chicago Annenberg Challenge?
Right, I think that's pretty meaningful, Dave, and part of it is because of the connection with Ayers, but another problem is that this foundation spent well over $100 million, and by their own evaluators' standards, there was no improvement in the educational achievement of the children who were supposed to be benefiting from that money in the Chicago public schools. And this is Barack Obama's main executive experience, so he doesn't exactly want to brag about it.
Now, Stanley, the New York Times yesterday quoted the Obama campaign as saying that the Ayers relationship has been greatly exaggerated by opponents of Obama looking to smear him. Are you an Obama opponent looking to make him look bad?
Well, I am an Obama opponent, but I'm trying to work respectably with facts that are confirmable or deniable. When I published the results of my look into these files, I went to the Obama campaign and I asked them to respond. They gave me a long statement, which I published in full, and then I responded in detail to that statement. By the way, the New York Times didn't bother to look into either that statement or into my reply. So I've tried to handle this as responsibly as I possibly could, and the media doesn't seem to want to cover it.
And in fact, Stanley, curious, because you have been leading the charge on this, you've arguably looked through more documents than anyone, and the New York Times did not come to you for a comment. But we have many times. Stanley, thank you so much for bringing all your reportage to us.